Okay, I'm ready. I'm sorry, guys.
All right,
Sorry,
Alex.
I'm
He
ready.
tried to fuck you up this again. You know what? No, buddy. It's your go time. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready.
You ready? Let's go, boy.
Welcome back to the Three Amibros Podcast. Today is going to be an amazing episode. We have 70,000 people listening to us. Oh, wait. That was a Taylor Swift concert that one of our very own had the privilege, the honor, the spontaneity to go see. Christopher, please take it away on what your Taylor Swift experience was this week, because we are a pop culture podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, here's my impression of Alex. Anyway, the Taylor Swift concert was pretty great. Lot of production value. I'm not like the biggest Taylor Swift fan as far as like I didn't know all of the songs. I didn't know a lot of the lyrics, but like I knew the main bangers, but overall, pretty great show. Obviously, I went because of my wife. She is the huge Taylor fan. She's the type who will stay up until the new album releases and listen to it like 3 times until no. I listen to it the next morning when she plays it again and again and again. But man, yeah, you weren't kidding. 70,000, a lot of people. I would say 60 to 65,000 of that were women. 5,500.
Carefully here.
Okay, we'll move on. Wasn't gonna say anything bad. I'm just saying the show was literally
you saying that like
and
a
gay
1 to
dudes.
7, a 1 to 7 ratio? Oh wow.
No. Are you talking like guys to girls?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking more like a 1 to 15.
Oh wow.
So you were kind of a hot commodity, is what you're saying.
No.
You were straight.
You're straight and at a Taylor Swift show.
Who's really straight at a Taylor Swift show? No, but because okay, you've got this stadium filled with all these women.
Yes.
They all have to use the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Right. I didn't know that. Actually, my wife had to inform me that women do in fact use the bathroom.
I thought they just disappeared.
I didn't like to think about that.
Yeah.
So the women's restroom lines were ridiculous. You didn't know where their line ended and the beer line and the food line started. Like it was just chaos.
Oh, really?
And Paramore was an opener. They fucking killed it. Took me back to middle school. I was a big Paramore fan back then.
Paramore opened for her?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was
that's
great.
sick.
Oh, now you like it?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, now you like it, little bitch.
No, I don't like Taylor Swift. I like Haley Williams.
Yeah, no, she killed it. So after they finished up their opener and there was going to be a few minutes before Taylor Swift came out, I had already had a few beers, had some gummies.
Whoa.
It was St. Patrick's Day, guys. Don't judge me.
Had some gummies.
I really needed to go to the bathroom. So I went and found the little dude, got a little guy hanging on the wall. I'm like, perfect, this is it. And I walk in, there is a line of women in front of the sit-down stalls, and I nearly shit myself and ran out thinking that I was in the wrong room until I look over to the left and see a row of urinals. Look back at the women, look back at the urinals. I'm like, okay, I think I'm in the right place. I'm just gonna go. So I go and use the urinal. This dude who's even more wasted than me at that point walks in and goes, "Oh fuck." And then these women go, "No, you're in the right room. You're in the right room." And so he comes up and joins me a few urinals down, and a mob of women walk into the other door to the bathroom. And this guy goes, "Man, I don't know if I can go with all you girls in here. Don't look at me. Don't look at me." And I'm trying not to piss on myself because he has me laughing my ass off. But it just made me think, you would think they don't need an equal amount of men's restrooms to women's restrooms at a Taylor Swift concert. You would think they would open up a couple of them for women. And just same with football games. Not trying to jump to conclusions, but football games, you don't need as many women's restrooms as you do men's restrooms. Like, let the men use some. I'm just saying. But
That's
overall,
crazy. So
it
they
was a
just
great show.
decided to like go into the guys' bathroom and just use their restroom.
Oh yeah, they just said fuck it.
I mean,
Oh,
when you said that
Dude,
there's only
the women
like,
care less about that. It's not
Yeah.
as like if a man would do it, it'd be a little different. But
I
women's
love
just
the-
like, what? I just need a penis.
Right.
don't
Well,
look
it's
at
just
me.
so funny. The cliche is being worried of men going into women's restrooms and different shit like that. Nope, not at a Taylor Swift concert. You got to worry about the
Not-
women.
Yeah, not at a Taylor Swift concert.
Well, I
Damn.
agree because I had several times at hockey games. Remember, I think I've said this on the podcast. The men's restrooms were insane. Like there was a line, like
Crazy
they really were
lines?
for women.
Always
Yeah.
a line.
Yeah.
Even at the Predators game, there's a line.
Mm.
Damn. Well, I know that
stadiums
you
be
didn't.
smarter.
I know you didn't come here to listen to Chris talk about women in his bathroom, but we did come here to talk about our number one sport, the number one sport in all of March, and that's NCAA basketball and March Madness, baby. Talk about upsets. Talk about Cinderella stories. Chris, you were correct with Cinderella stories. May not have been correct in picking the right Cinderella stories, but you were correct in saying
Well,
you picked
called one of
Furman.
yeah, that's a big Cinderella upset.
It was a 12, maybe a 13.
That's big.
When you have two other ones bigger, no, it's not.
Okay, Alex, we can stay on this podcast all night and argue what's bigger, but the fact is that is a decent upset. And yes, I was wrong about other upsets such as Purdue.
You were so wrong, Purdue. The fact that you made them your Final Four, or
I made them my national. Shut up, Justin.
Oh,
I
wait,
knew
wait,
it, I
you
know.
made them you made them your winner?
I don't want to talk
Yep.
about it.
Who else in this podcast made them their winner?
A very wise man.
I
defend him. Defend him.
yeah, defend
I
him
will
because
defend McJam
he
because
doesn't
that was a great pick. No one could have seen that shit coming.
he doesn't look like he's talking too much right now. Like, I don't know.
He's not proud of it.
Not
You know what? You guys can do all this talking right now because next podcast, I want to hear your explanation for Houston.
continuing on to the
that's your
Elite Eight.
prediction.
Yeah,
No, they won't be in it.
That's your opinion, and your opinion isn't great because you picked Purdue. But we got to talk about Fairly High Dickinson.
Whoa.
What did you just fucking say?
Was that a school? Is that a person? What did you just say?
Fairly High.
Could someone help our man out?
Fairly Dickinson.
Fairly High
Yeah.
Dickinson? What?
All right. Well, Chris, since you're all God and
Yes.
glory, how do you say
Yes.
this school's name? FDU is what I would have said just to be safe. But
Yeah,
Alex
I would
wanted to
just
go
say
for it.
FAU.
FDU. Excuse me.
FDU. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Can't
there's
forget
your
the
Alexism.
Dickinson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
there's my-
Dickinson, bro.
God, Alex, quit
The
rubbing
Dick
off.
Yeah, Alex.
Okay, just go with FDU.
No. How do you say it, McJam? Can you
I
get
don't
a? How do we say this? Is it Fairly? No. It's Fairly Fairley Dickinson.
Or Lehigh. Fair Lehigh.
That's what I'm
Dickinson?
saying. Fairly
I
High
don't know.
Dickinson.
Oh no, not
think it's
fairly
Fairleigh.
high. Fairleigh.
If I'm placing my money on it, it's Fairleigh.
Well, you did place your money on Purdue, and you would have lost because they
They
did-
got their
they choked
Dickinson
bad.
by Dickinson.
They choked bad.
choked bad. Yeah. What was the final score of that game? Do you guys know?
63-58.
So it was like
Pretty
kind
close.
of a nail biter, but like not for what it should have been, right?
I think there was a bad offensive inbound or something silly like that, and then it was just kind of over from there. But yeah. Well, McJam, did you find out?
Yeah, for that pronunciation, the American pronunciation is Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh.
Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
None of us would have gotten that.
Nope. Fairly high sounds cool, so we're gonna keep it that. I'm just kidding.
Fairly High Dickinson. But so that was a insane game, right? That was an insane game. We also had
Princeton.
Princeton knocking off U of A. I know
Not
how,
surprising at all.
No, I know how much Jake must have loved that. I said, sorry, I know how much. Hold on. I know how much McJam must have loved that. We had a nail biter in the what game was it? Yeah, the Furman Virginia game. Holy crap.
That came down to the final seconds.
That really did. Yeah, that was crazy. Maryland, West Virginia was a really good game. It was a lot more upsets than I could have imagined. But this season was very open. This was like one of the first times where I haven't seen like a top 1 seed be like 32-1, 34-1. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this last time, but it caused for this wide open stuff. And now here we are with do we have one number 1 seed left? Or no, we have 2. We have 2. Houston and
we have 2.
Houston and
Bama.
Kansas is at Bama. Kansas and Purdue are out. That's crazy.
Hey, and you got a shout out to your Arizona State almost had it. Almost so close, man. I was watching the end of that game. Felt like forever. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy. It was I think it was a lot better games and people predicted differently than. But hey, some were good, some were bad. You know, what are you going to do? You can't.
I love seeing the emotions at the NCAA tournament. Like, did you guys see the video of the cheerleader crying for, I think she was for Utah. She was a Utah cheerleader. And she was just sitting on the court crying during the game. They kept going to her. And this was like opening round or something like that. It was like, oh, yeah, you're not making a pass. But then like just the emotions from the players, like I forget what team it was now. But you see 2 players were like getting into a fight with each other on the same team.
Whoa.
They're like arguing, shoving each other, like their teammates had to come, and it's just like the emotions for the tournament just run so high.
It's nice to see because it's like
they care.
Like that's what you want to see is they care. Like it's crazy to see Furman beat who'd they beat again?
UVA.
UVA,
Virginia, and then they got
and that's huge.
But then they got stomped.
Right, but that team is going to hang their hat on that UVA.
100%.
But then you have
for the rest of their life.
Princeton not only beat Arizona, but then they went ahead and beat Mizzou to get to the Sweet 16. Yep. So
and Mizzou's a pretty good team. That was pretty crazy that they came out of nowhere and beat them. And yeah, so now we only have two top teams left. We've got so you got some Cinderellas. We got a 15 in the Sweet 16. I want to see how far they go. See how far Princeton goes.
Can they beat Creighton?
Can they beat Creighton?
Creighton upset at Baylor.
Yeah. And I think it's about the time we usually do it towards the end of the episode. And look at, our predictions. But since we're talking about basketball, we might as well look at them. And we've already known. We have to. This is part of our sports journalism that we do. We have to look at it. In first place so far, after 2 rounds, we've got McJam. In second place, we've got Justin. In third place, we've got me. And in last place,
you motherfucker,
coming in with a whopping 340 points.
And now you're lying?
That's what you have. Not what you're projected. That's what you have.
Oh, what I currently have. Okay.
Yeah, what you currently have.
I feel
you have 340 points.
Yep.
Picked Purdue to win. Picked, I think, Gonzaga to go with them, which is a good pick because they're still going. But Purdue to win 71-65. How does it feel to know that they're just not in it anymore?
Hey, Chris, can I help you out real quick?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't seem like you're going to help me.
No, I promise. I got you. Because if there's anything I love more than anything, it's picking on Alex. I love to do that. So Alex sitting here, Chris, you got 340, dude. That kind of blows. But hey, 30 points away from you, right up in the rear, Alex Andre.
Who was last up until this point.
370 points. Saying you're talking all this smack, all this. Look at him, and then he goes, "I'm only 30 points ahead."
No one needs to know.
But he did pick a better finalist, who's someone who made it further. But yeah, we do have to know, Chris. I just had to defend you a little bit because that was really ridiculed.
I appreciate
not as
that.
bad, but you still picked Purdue.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Alex is just happy because for quite a few days he was there and dead last. So
I think is the keyword. You are is the other
you
keyword.
Still can be, my friend. No, I'm not gonna lie. When I was disappointed, like I've usually had a couple decent brackets each year, but last year I had a really shitty bracket. This year, when Furman won, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a cakewalk, boys. I'm gonna walk away with this. Predicting Furman? Hell yeah. And then actually, speaking of the Taylor Swift concert, that was the night of that Purdue game. And before the concert started was when the game ended, and I was like, yeah, well, I think I'm done checking the brackets for the rest of the tournament.
Is this why we had a couple beers and a gummy?
Yeah, 100%. Well, like usual, I'm always on top of you fools.
Whoa.
And
we got McJam, a dark horse. Yeah.
Not a dark horse.
Justin's thinking ahead right now, though. He's looking at the total points possible, and he's thinking that he's going to slide ahead of McJam here after this weekend.
Still 430 points, Chris. I'm almost 100 points above you. I'm over 50 points above Alex. So, and I'm only 20 points behind McJam. And I have a better winner predict currently. So, you never know. But like always,
okay,
champion, top dog.
This is what I hate. This is what I hate about this podcast. Up until this point, Justin hasn't been that good at picking games.
Yes, I have.
Hasn't been that good at fantasy. Hold on, hasn't. And then all of a sudden we start this podcast, and something happens to where some magical wizard went over there and touched his dick and made it grow, and now all of a sudden he can pick all these football games. He wins the championship in football. Like he's
Mr. Is true. Honcho. I'm a little suspicious that all of a sudden we start this shit and he's suddenly like good.
Are you
at everything?
Because I have also made it to the finals in the last 2 years or a year and a half. I did the year before, and I have fantasy, and I lost second place.
To who?
I can't remember you. Probably.
You can't remember me.
Yeah. Hey, we can all have excuses, but I would just like to say I've always been good at picking these things. I can just put now where my money, where my mouth is, just so you boys, for the world to hear.
It's just kind of annoying, you know.
It is.
It's just kind of annoying that we try our hardest and we like to have fun, and Chris and I are usually like right there with each other, a game off. But then you look over the leaderboard and it's like Chris and I are like a game off, and then Justin's like 3 games ahead of us. What the fuck?
It's like we're right there with each other until you decide to turn on me and call me out for my 340 points.
Hey, he just had to bring another man down.
Yeah, had to
while
bring
we hype another man up.
Yeah. Chrissy, it's always between me and you for second and third.
Well, this year, and by this year I mean when we make our predictions each week, for the 2023 NFL season.
Oh, you're gonna be number 1
for gold.
You going for gold?
Yes.
You going for gold? Well, now what's crazy is with McJam here, someone might not make podium. We always had podium every single week.
Well, I think because of that. Don't
podium.
fucking say me. It would be you. But what I'm getting at is I think that there is potential for a punishment each week for who doesn't make podium.
Okay, podium punishment.
We'll call it the Alex stand.
No. They call second place the Alex stand. They call first place Justin, second place Alex, fourth place Chris.
It honestly it makes me sad that you're so comfortable placing yourself at second.
First or second the best, baby.
They call second place Alex.
Second's just the first loser, so it's okay however you guys want to think about it.
Oh my God,
either way or not, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
You'll always be champ. And you guys can fight about last place between each other on a different podcast.
Justin, I 100%. I'm gonna put my money on it. I'll put some kind of bet on it. I'm gonna beat you in the overall record next year.
No, you won't.
100%.
Well, I bet you $100 right now.
100%. Easy.
100%.
100%. 100
No,
bucks.
hold on. Are you saying 100? Okay.
100%.
Because he said
Yep.
$100, you said 100%. I don't know what that means.
I will-
100%. He's into it.
I will bet you $100 next year overall totals. I will beat you.
Okay.
That's from week 1 to Super Bowl.
Okay. Are you gonna pick with your heart every single time?
You know it.
Okay.
So
if you wanna just
Pittsburgh is
send
going
that- you would pick.
undefeated.
Yeah.
If you want to just send
If
that
you don't pick
$100
Pittsburgh
over
every week,
No.
yeah.
I
If you don't
usually
pick
do.
Pittsburgh every week,
I
know
usually
it
do.
is.
I don't know what you're talking about. I usually
I
pick.
hope you will.
I
this
usually
year.
pick
If you're
Pittsburgh
doing
every
a
week,
bet, I hope
and
you
I
will.
don't pick the Ravens or the Browns. So it's gonna be a rough season for me.
Yeah, that's a $300 in my
But I have confidence in the other. games.
Okay. Just
Okay,
follow
you
Chris.
got-
He'll do really good.
No. I don't need to talk. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let the picks do the talking for me. I just think it's funny. We go from we kind of do this, me and Alex, more so than Justin, where if we're losing at something, we tend to bring up a future competition that we're calling the win for. Oh, we got shitty brackets going right now. Well, just you wait till the NFL season.
Yeah,
And I know I
just-
started that.
Yeah. So
This
don't worry,
time.
dude. Don't worry. I'll be.
Here, how about this? You can put your money where your mouth is with something else, and we just make it an easy transition into the other sport that we're really, really known for. Because when these little guys
Ice
grow up, they
dancing.
gotta go somewhere. Ice dancing, 100%. But if they can't make it into ice dancing, they go decide to play.
Breastfeeding.
I think it's the yes, in National Breastfeeding
Just thinking of sports.
Association, the NBA, the National
The
Breastfeeding
NBA.
Association.
That was good. I like that.
I like that. Honestly, that's what it's become with all these guys not playing full seasons. But I digress. What were you getting to, Justin?
Oh, well, that was actually perfect. I think we just go right into it. It's crazy that they don't do that anymore. But I think playoffs are coming a lot sooner than later. So I figured at some point through this one, we could do just a little bit predictions for certain seeds and where they're
I have
at
a-
because
I have a
it's
question.
really crazy. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. What's your question? Yeah, what's your question?
He's
Yeah.
a
Can we-
child.
Can we actually talk about that? Do you think that's hurt or helped the game?
Oh, hurt.
You think it's hurt the game?
Yeah.
I think it's
No.
it's hard. Okay, I think it's helped the game in the long run, but I think it's hurt the fan base of going to the game. Because what's the point of going to the game if you know? Like
yeah, why would you
LeBron
pay all
James-
this money to go to
Yeah.
games? But actually, so like the biggest argument that you hear from players and people who support it is the injuries.
Mm.
But actually, statistics show that guys are getting injured way more now than they were back when they were actually playing the full season.
Interesting. Really?
Those are taking
Yes.
breaks rather than just like going for it. And I would agree. And honestly, I agree on both ends. I understand there's certain points. There's like, oh, well, it's a lot on the body, this, that. But also, like, if I paid good money to go see LeBron play and he didn't play that night, I'd be fucking livid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking show up and it's fucking Swaggy P.
If you're
again.
getting paid a max contract to play
Yeah.
a fucking game,
Go play.
you're playing in every damn game that you're actually healthy for.
Well, and that's where the problem I think is like in certain mentalities. Like if you look at like Kobe Bryant, who's like, well, they never know it's gonna be like they came here to see me, like
Right.
It's just different. It's that's selfless, and then there's the little bit about LeBron that could be a little bit selfish in the sense that he's thinking about himself in those positions,
I
or like
concur
other
with that.
players in generals, just a little
Right.
bit more selfish. But it's about like their health and their longevity, and it's
It's
hard
about
'cause you can't
drive.
tell
It's
them
about
what to do.
power.
But you can't tell them what to do because it's their how they
Yeah,
do
it's
it. how
it's
they see
and
it.
and
Well,
and
then
think-
I think they should be docked pay. I
Pay?
don't think they should get paid to sit out.
Do they
well,
have
They
didn't-
should
days?
have some consequences.
well, didn't LeBron put it in his contract that he was only going to play 56 games? I think he put it in his contract.
That's weak.
I'm just saying, like, so you can't really dock him for his pay
Then
because he
retire.
kinda-
If you can't do a full season, then retire.
he is
I
like,
mean,
I think
playing.
Justin has said this. He's been the number one non-injury guy. Like he's been playing for 20 years, and I don't remember a time where he's been injured.
What do you mean? He's injured
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, is
right
he?
now. Yeah,
Okay,
he is right now.
20 years later. Sorry, one injury that I can like remember where he's like sitting out. And
Well,
he's
he
been
hasn't
sitting out
had
this
any
year.
like he
Major
hasn't had
injury.
any season long
Ending.
injuries like
Yeah.
that. Yes.
No Klay Thompson broken whatever, or
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, or who's the guy who broke his leg? on Boston Celtics.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon
Yeah,
Hayward.
Hayward.
That was gnarly.
That was nasty. Oh,
Ugh,
that was nasty.
that was gross. But yeah, I don't know. I think it helps the game, but it just sucks as a viewer, and I hate to
It
see
doesn't
the
make you want
players
to go
do
to the
it.
games.
Yeah, it doesn't make you.
Yeah.
I'll just watch it from home.
Yeah, because then if so and so, such as KD or Kyrie or
LeBron.
no, well, yeah, him too. I'm blanking on the guy's name on the Clippers who's so notorious for it.
Oh, fucking Kawhi Leonard.
Your boy, yeah,
Kawhi Leonard. Not my boy. Don't you ever?
Yeah,
say
when they
he's
don't
my boy.
play, it's
Not
like
my
no.
boy.
I know.
Two seasons, a broken finger, can't play a game. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so
Um,
exactly when they're not playing and you're just sitting at home watching TV, it's no big deal. When you paid a lot of money to park and the tickets and everything, and then they don't play, it's like, oh, what the fuck? What are you laughing at me,
You
Justin?
sound like a total dad.
I am a fucking dad.
Everybody took a park
now,
to pay.
ish.
I paid a toll to get there, and then I had to pay for $4 for a hot dog.
$4
I got
would be
fucked
a
over at the
relief.
Taylor Swift concert over 2 beers. So yeah, I'm a little bitter towards concessions at major stadiums.
Yeah,
moving
no choice
on.
but to shop there.
Moving on from concessions to gun rights. Do you think Morant should be coming back on Wednesday?
I don't care at this point. I think he's a fool. And yeah, sure, he served his time, whatever. I mean, sat out a lot of games for just being an idiot. Put him back in. Memphis ain't doing shit.
Present sentence.
And they're still second in the West.
Yeah, they've done pretty well. They've done extremely well without him, which is a kind of like better than what I thought they would. And now,
They ain't doing anything this year.
He's mentally stable, but who knows? Maybe his stress is just something he can tell the media, but he's not really stressed.
Maybe
It's just him being-
he's just on a beach in Florida hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, we have him in a counseling thing, as it's an Airbnb that he rented. He has somebody who has a licensed therapist there, which is his
Yeah.
homeboy, and they're chilling at the beach, shooting guns in the water, and
Ooh.
No chance that he did anything real to work on himself.
No. Maybe. You don't know. We don't know. I guess we don't know.
Okay, he worked out. That's working on yourself.
Yeah, that's working on yourself. He had to keep his basketball skills up. But I'm gonna be honest with you, he doesn't seem like the kind of man that's like, let me go find a guru who's gonna help fix my mental. I'm gonna go hang out with Wim Hof in the cold. Like, it doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Honestly, you know what he could benefit from? If Kobe was still around.
Oh,
I think Kobe. I know. Well, sorry. What? We're just not supposed to talk about Kobe the rest of the time?
I don't know, man.
I think if Kobe was still around,
No, I think
he
we
would
deserve
see
a
his
moment of
talent.
silence for Kobe if you're gonna bring him up.
Okay.
Well,
Fuck you, Alex.
yeah, you're so crazy. And absolutely, but we can respect him. So, anyways, Chris, what were you saying about?
I just think he
topic
would
before
have.
Alex
Alex is just in a fuck with me mood today. No, I think if Kobe was still around, he would recognize the dude's talent on the court.
Yeah.
And take him under his wing a bit and be like, hey, you need to treat this like a business and take it seriously. And maybe that would be something that LeBron would do if he wasn't still playing. But
Maybe.
because I mean,
anybody else?
Why doesn't like Jordan do
The
it?
other people? No, Jordan doesn't.
Jordan's too busy trying to sell the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm.
But I mean, there's really no who on that team besides for he is. Besides for Steven Adams, who on that team has really got the presence to get through to him? You need someone that he can aspire to be, like a Kobe, like a LeBron, like a Jordan, but
Jordan's never been that person.
He's never been that type of a guy to do that. So it would really be if Kobe was still around and if LeBron could reach out to him, because LeBron could teach him a lot about PR and staying out of negative headlines off the court for the most part.
100%. Damn, that's wild. It's just wild.
A ton of controversies, but yeah,
nothing
one
crazy
person
though.
on the no. I think one person on the Grizzlies that I thought was cool, but like Dylan Brooks, he's the other kind of like when you talk about
He's
Morant
annoying.
and then you talk about him, they're kind of like is
Hate
that
him.
one is that a good partnership because at the same time like he is kind of an asshole. He's a talker. He does all this shit.
Yeah.
He does that personality. Does he actually translate that in real life? Is he that guy off the court, or is he actually just that guy on the court? Is this an act, or is this really him?
I can see that.
I see. Here's the thing: if he was better, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that
Well,
he's super mid and acts like he's fucking a superstar.
I don't know if I'd be okay with it if he was better, because
It
just
just
being better doesn't like allow for like being kind of a dick. But it like I think Clay's quote of like who's gonna remember Dylan Brooks in fucking 10 years
Oh yeah,
is like true. Like it's like you're gonna like do all this stuff to get publicity right now when in reality your team should be trying to fly under the radar right now because your fucking star player is like
yeah.
in a hodgepodge of shit. You don't need to be in more hodgepodge of
And
shit.
also, you guys
on the
ever won
court.
shit?
Yeah, nothing. You guys got to the second round of the playoffs last year, right? Maybe I think
Exactly.
is yeah, maybe I think it was the second round. Like you haven't done anything. You are close to losing the second seed. Like play the basketball game. There is a time to talk when you're just like, when you're trying to jaw at somebody and trying to get after him, but it's not like it needs to be this whole big fiasco like it's become with him. And that's where kind of basketball lost me, was that's like a lot of guys nowadays. It's just like the showmanship of being better than everybody else.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, I
But I
mean,
mean,
It's kind of
it's fun if you like reality. Like it's like reality TV. It's like fun, right? Like if you're like as a guy, if you're looking for some kind of like reality TV, like Dylan Brooks is perfect for that. Like I love it. But
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
looking
part of
for
me it kind of enjoys it because it adds some spice to the
Yeah,
game
like-
where because I enjoy intense rivalries.
Mhm.
And even though you can't really call Grizzlies versus Warriors a rivalry,
No.
I at least enjoy kind of the passion that the players have. Because I mean, I will say that's one thing I do appreciate about him is he's doing it more than just for a paycheck. Some guys, that's all they care about.
and the Grizzlies aren't exactly the Detroit Bad Boys, but they're
they're
trying
setting
to be.
themselves up.
They're
be.
trying to be. They
And
need to
that's, like,
have some
pushing-
success, and then they can be the next rendition.
But they are like they're trying. That's what teams are like. That's how that created that Warriors rivalry because the Warriors
Mhm.
are a championship proven team,
And they're like
and
this is gonna make sense to Chris, but it's like they're a face and the Grizzlies are trying to be a heel. They're trying to
Yep.
They're the bait like because the Warriors are very much baby face. Very much goody two shoes. They're always gonna do the like
I
they
think
have,
Curry
like-
is babyface, but I think the Warriors as a whole has a
Draymond
lot
is-
of hate. Yeah, Draymond. Yeah.
It's Draymond. So like because
Yeah, it's
Clay is pretty
Draymond.
chill. Clay is like I don't want to be up in anything, right? Like
Some people hate on Clay because he's inconsistent. He's either a superstar or he's nothing.
yeah, or he's a Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Jay? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
no, I mean it's a little bit of both. I think about it in this aspect, in the sense like for people who look up to NBA player, like football players, sports players, like I've always admired athletes, and for this to kind of be like a rendition of it, it's a at the end of the day, it's a form of bullying in certain aspects. So like
Mm.
kids, it's not creating good culture in that sense, and it's a fun to watch. It's cool to see, and it's like Chris says, like I like the drama of it. Like, oh, that's sick. But like then you have people that always want to mimic those things and those people, and that's what this is.
I think we've talked about that before on here, huh? Of like, I think Chris mentioned it one time, but it's like, yeah, what are you providing to young kids? Like that's who's looking up to you the most.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Denver
But-
Nuggets are the only team in the West, real quick, to clinch the playoff berth as of right now, which is kind of crazy.
It's wild.
Only to choke in the first round.
No, they're not
Oh,
going to
maybe
choke in the
second
first
round.
Okay, come on.
They are often good at that.
They
Yeah,
love the
they're-
second round exit.
They do love to get out in the second round. I usually get out
And-
after the first round, but the Nuggets are
I usually need a lot of time in between rounds.
yeah, usually. But the Nuggets are in the first place. The Grizzlies are holding on to second somehow. I don't know how Sacramento hasn't like. I mean, they have a 3-game win streak without him, so it's like, how have the Kings
I've been
not?
doing bad without him.
Yeah, how have the Kings not trying to like? This is your time to.
Well, they're winning.
Yeah, they're
Kings
winning.
are winning.
Yeah, you know, but this is your
They
time to
just
like.
need to
3 is
focus
pretty
on
much-
making it.
They,
If you're
they've-
thinking about the West, the 1, 2, and 3 are those are it. Those are gonna be the top 3.
yeah.
But 4 through 12 are only 4 games within each other.
Oh
So,
wow.
and it's like all of them. It's very competitive. That 4 through 12 spot.
Christopher, guess where the
Or
Lakers
is this
land?
where you're gonna bring up the Lakers?
No, they're 11th.
They're out of it right now.
They're out of it right now.
But it doesn't matter because it's literally gonna have.
Well,
to come
LeBron
to the
still needs
last
to come
game of the
back.
season.
True.
It's gonna
Yeah,
come to the
'cause
last game of the season, like with the
Mhm.
West and where everybody plays. Because that's what's crazy is you have the playoff. You have the play-in tournament, which
Yep.
in certain teams it's just who's hot. It's
So
who has the
play-in
better
is-
game.
Playing is 8, 10, and then 8, 10. No.
10, 9, 8, and 7. You just skipped over
Oh,
9 completely.
Okay, so no, but 7 plays 10, and 8 and 9 play, right?
Yep.
And then whoever wins from those, whatever the lowest seed
into
is,
the-
plays 1. So if a
Yes,
10
yep.
wins, they play 1. Okay, cool. That's cool. I
Yep.
like that. I like that how they did that.
It's kind of like in
I'm gonna do
baseball.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think it gives a team then at that point it's like, oh, it's the hotter team, maybe not the best all year. Better, and it's not a record based. You got to play to get
They
there.
need to
At least in those spots.
they need to expand to another like 4 teams, and then I'll be okay with the 10 teams making the playoffs.
Well,
What?
and I was curious about you guys.
It's just 20 of the teams make the playoffs technically.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And so that's what I'm
For
saying.
that
They need to have like a 4 or 5 team expansion, and then I'll be okay.
Oh,
with,
okay, I
Then I
understand
will
what
be
you're
okay
saying
with
now.
like
I thought you were like they need to expand the playoffs 4 or 5
No.
teams, and I'm like,
Well-
geez, why don't the whole league just make it?
Yeah.
Technically, wouldn't only 16 teams truly make it into what quote unquote real playoffs?
yeah, I get
They have
Right.
the play-in tournament. They're not in the playoffs.
Technically, that does not count actually as a playoff game or a regular season game.
What does it
So your
count as?
stats in those games don't count towards either anything
Oh.
really.
Weird. Okay, cool. So technically it's still only 8,
Yeah,
but they
and
just
if
made
anything,
more
basketball has the
opportunity.
potential to grow a lot. Like they're talking about the Supersonics come back. Talk about putting a team in Vegas. Like you're gonna see growth within it too. There's some more cities will get some.
I
big
hope that
teams.
they grow, because I don't like this whole 10 teams can kind of make it.
I
You're
think
just
Seattle will
jealous
get a team again.
because
I hope Seattle gets a team. They fucking love the Kraken. They love the Seahawks. They love the
Supersonics.
Mariners. Why not give them the Supersonics back? Do you think they would
think
name them?
they-
Do you think
Oh,
they
yeah.
would name them the Supersonics?
Mhm.
Yeah. And they'd
They
be
like
like
it.
they'd be the green, white, and yellow.
They still like
I
the
would hope.
Supersonics. They
Well,
just
yeah.
obviously, I think the time they got taken away is because they were just a small market. Seattle's a way different market now
OKC.
than what it was. But okay, so I
Imagine
figured the
moving
top
to
3
OKC.
are really in there. And then you have your 4 for 10. So that's a lot of different people. But let me just see here. There's only 3 other teams that won't make it. Who are your 3 teams that aren't going to make it in the West? Who's
Okay,
not gonna get
aren't
in?
gonna make it.
Yep. In the play-in tournament or playoff.
Okay, no play-in tournament, no playoff. I'm gonna go with the San Antonio Spurs,
Well, okay, no. They're
the
already eliminated.
Houston Rockets.
They're already eliminated.
Oh, I thought we were just like going who's not
Of
gonna
the
make it.
teams?
No. Of the
Okay,
teams I
yeah.
can. Like, I'm not even counting Portland in there. But I think New Orleans technically has a chance.
Yeah, New Orleans
Lakers-
does has a
New
chance.
Orleans Lakers and up. Because, like, the Portlands are 16 games back. They're not making the playoffs.
No, I'm going with the way it's set right now. I think the Lakers and New Orleans don't make it.
Ooh.
Lakers definitely don't make it. I
Jazz
don't
is
know. I don't know
Jazz is-
about
Jazz is 10, OKC is 9, and they are a game above the Pelicans.
then. I'm gonna go Lakers, OKC. Are the
Mm.
Clippers already eliminated?
No, the Clippers are 5, bro. What the
They're
fuck?
5.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to the
For
Clippers.
now, but they're only 38 and 34, and the Lakers are 35 and 37. So it's not that much of a difference. Like
Just
they can
more
lose 3
losses.
games and then
Okay, then I'm gonna switch actually and just do both LA teams.
You think both LA teams don't make it?
Yeah.
That
No, I'm
is
just fucking with you. I'm just fucking
wild.
with you. They're
Oh.
at 5.
I think the Pelicans definitely don't get in. And
I think it's
then,
Pelicans Lakers.
I kind of want Oklahoma to get in, but I think the Timberwolves will have a harder chance getting in. But it's hard when you have Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert to
Yeah.
not think about being in the playoffs.
True.
But if LeBron comes back healthy, the Lakers will sneak in. And then it's just who else is going to get out from that end. The Jazz can technically not make it in. So I'll go Jazz and Pelicans is my final.
Hey, and you think that the Lakers sneak in at 10?
Yeah. Well,
Play-in?
I don't know where they get set, but I know they make it.
They get to the play-ins.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
what
West
about
is too wild.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West.
Wow. That's crazy though that the Lakers might not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you
Fuck 'em.
paid LeBron how much?
Too much.
Way too much, but it's whatever.
I'm so dead. Well, then we can go over the East side, and then it's the opposite. Giannis and the Bucks clinch, and then so do the Celtics. Both clinch a playoff berth, which is kind of crazy. Again, I think the top 3 teams are pretty solidified. Like those are the best 3 teams overall in the East. And really the only ones that are a little bit more tight is 4th place through 7th place. And that's just the Heat flirting with, I think it's the like Knicks or something in order to be able to
the Heat, the Nets, and the Knicks. Oh, I guess the Knicks are pretty much 5, but the Heat, the Nets are like who's gonna be in and who's gonna have to play in.
Yeah.
And then it looks like 8 through 10, they all could switch really easily.
And they're all very competitive. It's so funny how they're more
They're
grouped
groups.
in sections. You could tell these are the dominant teams of the East.
Mhm.
These are the mediocre, and then these are the stragglers. And obviously you got Detroit there in last place, so I'm so sorry, Chris.
No, he
Nah,
loves
don't be
it.
sorry. I
He
want
loves
it.
Yeah, they're
Give
in
me
last
number one pick.
place.
Give
They're
me
in
the
last
number one
place.
pick.
You know the Spurs are gonna get it.
Nope.
I'm
We're
surprised
gonna
the
get it.
Magic still aren't eliminated out of this.
Yeah, that's weird. 22 games back.
Well,
I
the
guess-
East is so weird.
Well, 29 and 43. I mean, technically, I guess they just need to win 5 games.
Yeah, they just
As
need to
the
win a
last
couple
3
games.
and 7 in the last 10 games.
Hey, it's
They're
fine.
not-
Hey, don't take it out on them. They can win. Detroit
don't-
is getting smacked right
I
That's
don't
okay.
think the Wizards
I want them to win right now.
or the Pacers would get in. I think it's going to stay the same. Like the playoff for the East, that's going to be the playoffs. The play-in tournament is the only one that's I think is switching. So really, just think about are the Heat or the Nets making it in from that 6 and 7 spot?
now. True. Who's gonna make it in for the 7? Who's gonna make it in 6?
I think that would be the most competitive. And
When does the season over?
April's-
McJam, if we could get.
No,
I think we
said
said it
this.
last time.
Yeah,
I think it's like
27th is
April.
my guess.
April 15th.
No, that's when taxes are due.
Yeah, tax
No,
season.
April 9th.
baby.
April 9th.
April 9th? Faster than McJam.
Yeah, I'm quick with it. I have it
You're
on my app.
whiz on those. You're whiz on those computer, dude.
No, I'm just on my ESPN
Um,
app checking it out.
hell yeah. Damn. Yeah, I think that's all we got on basketball.
For sure.
That was a pretty crazy segment there, guys.
That was boring. You guys were boring at the end of that. I wouldn't
Well,
want to listen to basketball either. Move on.
Basketball is just not exciting.
Do you probably?
You heard it here first. Christopher
Is racist.
something.
No. What?
Ru-
Come playoff time, then it's exciting. Then every game is fun. But like regular season basketball just does not do it for me.
I like seeing the
Okay.
plays and stuff like that, and I would understand. Like, I'm not into every single game, but like, I'm into the playoff race. I think that's intense. Like, that's like you, dude. It's anybody's game on both.
Do you
things.
know what? Do you know what does it for Christopher? Do you know
What
gets
does
him
it for
going?
me? What gets me going,
Oh,
Alex?
I know it gets him
Seeing
so going.
the Lions and the way that they have made this off season their bitch.
Literally.
Literally, like they've.
I don't know
done it,
how you literally do that, but they literally did that.
but they literally made the off season a very good defensive haul.
In Brad Holmes, we trust.
In
This
Brad Holmes,
man
we trust. I
Has
guess.
proven now, not only can he draft, he can free agent.
Is that your GM?
That is our GM, yeah.
No, he can free agent.
He is making moves. The latest of which is CJ GJ. free agent out of the Super Bowl attending Philadelphia Eagles.
Say CJGJ like 10 times fast. Holy shit.
CJGJ, 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 CJGJ. See, I
That
can
was
do it.
4. That was 4. I said 10.
Wow, I'm not gonna waste people's time.
Please.
Oh yeah, because we don't do that on this podcast.
Yeah, we're very against wasting people's time, especially with silly arguments that have nothing to do with what we're talking about at that moment.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, the Lions defense is getting rejuvenated. It's gonna have a whole different backfield. What are you laughing at?
I'm just looking at the notes.
Why? What do the notes say?
I just like put.
They better say Super Bowl contending Lions.
No, I just put Pittsburgh Steelers and I didn't put anything under it. And then someone put Steelers are trash.
Facts. But actually, Justin's gonna like this. I'm starting to really dislike the Eagles fan base.
The Eagles, why?
They're just pretty fucking annoying.
About what? Like why?
Well, they were annoying and whiny
Everything.
leading up to the Super Bowl. They were obviously annoying and whiny after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
true.
then when the CJGJ signing happened with the Lions, there were so many like Eagles fans like talking shit to them, like, we didn't want you anyway.
Wow.
Have fun being a loser. But it was really funny as some people were calling him out, and this one dude literally was posting like this seance trying to keep CJGJ on the Eagles 6 days before the trade or the signing happened. And then when the signing happened, he goes, we didn't want you anyway. It's like, dude, you're literally taking time out of your day to post like this virtual seance online to keep them around. Yeah, you didn't.
See, this is what happens. One end of the state is really bad. The other end of the state, when they lose Sutton, all they can do is thank him.
You know what? I can't argue with that. You guys were very classy on his
Hey,
way
it's like
out.
it's like a hey, you know what? We're sad that we couldn't sign you, but thank you.
What was your guy's name again? CJGJ? I don't even know.
CJGJ.
Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his first name? McJam
CJ.
on the sticks.
Well, here, you guys do that, and then I can talk.
Cameron
Here.
Johnson.
So one of the things that was funny.
His name is not Cameron Johnson, Gardner Johnson.
His name is Chauncey.
Chauncey
what?
Don't know where the J comes from.
It's probably his middle initial.
Maybe it's just like CJ as in like Chauncey.
It's probably his
Johnson.
middle initial.
No, it's
so
probably
he goes by CJ.
Chauncey Johnson, but they just do CJ as like his name, and then he just goes by Gardner Johnson.
No,
I was just saying, like
Gardner Johnson is his last name.
No,
whatever the J is his middle name. It's probably Joseph. It's probably Chauncey Joseph Gardner Johnson. He goes by CJ, so it's CJGJ.
Chauncey Joseph
His name
Gardner.
is not Chauncey Johnson Gardner Johnson. He does not have two Johnsons.
No, what I'm saying is the J comes from the last name. People called him CJ, and then his just name is CJ. So for Chauncey Johnson, Chauncey Gardner Johnson is his name, but they called him CJ because of his first initial and his last initial. So now his name's just CJ Gardner Johnson. Does that make sense?
I hate your theory so much that I need to find out what that J stands for now, because it's going to drive me crazy that you get to stick to this story if we don't know, because that's not accurate.
I think it's Chauncey Gardner Johnson, and it's just CJ because that's what his boys called him, and so he's CJ Gardner Johnson.
Explain, you know what? One more time. I don't think Chris is getting it.
No, I get it. I get it. In fact, I think that we should just move along until a further date when we have a verification on what that J stands for, because I'm not going to let you sit here and spew out Alexisms over there.
What was interesting specifically about that trade was the Eagles last week. We were like, oh, they released Darius Slay. That was all the news. Everybody reported that Darius Slay was being released. Then they didn't, and literally following the next day, signed into agreements. So here it was funny about CJ's DJ. Well, DJ, I don't even give a fuck what his name is. Was it basically just said like I think they were mad to try to get the deal done with him, and the deal didn't line up. And so then they were like, well, fuck it, we'll just sign Slay and let him go. That's why you guys got him only on a 1-year deal as like a prove
Right.
it deal. Because
Yeah,
maybe
he wants a big
over-marketed
contract.
Yeah, he overvalued himself and then didn't get the money that he wanted, and it was
That's
like,
fine.
well, fuck, I gotta go somebody. And dude, what a slide for the Detroit Lions! Even
Yeah,
on a 1-year,
got him cheap.
Mm-hmm. We got him cheap for a desperate backfield that you needed, anyways.
And
So I
he's going to be motivated to prove it to get that big contract. So I love
my
it.
theory is 100 correct. I just looked it up, did some research. His name is Chauncey quotations CJ quotations Gardner Johnson. So literally, it's probably Chauncey for C, Johnson for J, and so his name is CJ Gardner Johnson.
When people go by
No.
CJ, it's because it's their middle name. I could
No,
go
it's not
by
always.
CJ.
It's not always by their middle name. Actually, it's also by their last name because people call me JD because my last name is Darlington. So Justin Darlington. So hold up one little second, little bald headed man.
Yeah.
And listen to us.
What just came out of you?
Hold up, you
Facts.
bald little man.
Facts.
I need verification. 100% verification. I need to hear
can someone tweet
CJ
him?
GJ. Yeah,
Can we
I
tweet
need to
at
hear
him?
it from him.
Yeah. Hey, someone jump on our Amibros podcast and tweet at him. Yo, why is your name
Yeah.
CJ? See what he says.
Um,
But in real sense, we can keep talking about this forever and figuring it out. And you know what? We're not going to get any closer, like Chris said. So, but people do that, Chris. I just had to fact check you.
That's
because you're
fair.
wrong
That's
sometimes.
fair.
yeah.
Your Lions, however, are looking very, very competitive within the NFC next year.
Well, did you
So,
see
The North
ranking?
is ours.
How do you
Did
feel
you
you're
see the
doing?
ranking I told you guys?
Yeah, I think we should be much higher than that. It's bullshit.
You
Give me
think
number
you should
one.
be higher than 10? The Cowboys are 9, which is good.
I think we should be better than the 9.
Okay,
I'm gonna
fucking
pull
you
up the
guys.
list real quick and we're gonna go through it. So number one is Kansas City, obviously defending Super Bowl champs. They only got better this offseason so far with some good signings.
Yeah.
Number
100%.
two, San Francisco 49ers. Debatable.
Very debatable. They don't have a
We
quarterback.
don't know who their QB is going to be, and if
They
they're
don't even-
sticking with Trey
yeah.
Lance, I'm not confident in that team.
Yeah, they don't got a
Number three, the Cincinnati Bengals. That's fair. That's fair. 4, Philadelphia Eagles. That's not fair. I don't care that
They've
they just
lost so
made
many
it to the
people.
Super Bowl. They've lost so many people. They're going to have a sophomore slump. It just feels that way. It's my prediction. They
Hey,
shouldn't
hold
be
on.
4.
Before we
Yes.
go on, I have to clear up the CJ GJ. I read a
Oh
little more,
shit.
I read a little more into it. His up until his sophomore year of college, he was Chauncey. What was his middle name? I don't think it has a middle name. Chauncey Gardner Jr. So I'm guessing it came from Chauncey Jr. So CJ. That's where I'm guessing it came from. But then he wanted to honor his stepdad by adding the Johnson onto it. So CJ is probably Chauncey Jr., Gardner Johnson.
This got really personal.
Aha, so it's a suffix.
So it's a suffix. I think it's probably a suffix. I'm sorry for.
I'll
know what
accept
a
your
suffix is?
apology.
You
Yeah,
know
Alex.
what a suffix is?
Yeah, it's a ending. A prefix is like the beginning. Suffix
Like
is the
what?
ending. Like a junior, a senior, a third. And a
Proud of
prefix is
you.
like a
Proud of
miss. A prefix is like a Mr., Mrs., ma'am, whatever.
I'm proud of you.
What's up,
Well,
baby?
we shouldn't be that surprised. He is with Rose, so I imagine she teaches him.
Yeah, she was a teacher. Yeah. So number 4 is who?
Number 4 is the Eagles.
Oh,
I don't think they should be that high.
Overrated.
they lost a lot of talent. Their offense is still the same, but
He
their
wasn't
defense
even
lost
focused
a
in
lot.
any of that conversation, was he?
No,
No, he was not.
I was
Not
not.
He
at
was
all.
so into finding
So-
out the J.
All right,
Yeah, we already tackled
5.
the Eagles, Alex. So
cool,
we're
cool,
on to
cool, cool.
5,
We're
and that is
moving
going
on.
to be the also overrated New York Jets.
They don't have Aaron.
They don't
don't have
even
Aaron Rodgers
officially
yet.
have
They don't
Rodgers yet.
They don't have Rodgers yet. Can't put
They
him that
don't
high.
have him yet. You can't put him there. Even if they did, I don't think you can necessarily put him
No.
at 5. They didn't even win the division last year.
Yeah, but who did? The Bills?
The Bills.
They don't.
Still,
They're like a
5 is way too high for not
Yeah.
even having signed Aaron Rodgers. If you would sign Aaron Rodgers, I'd be okay with 5. But even with
Yeah.
them, they're not top 5. Like they're not top 4, top 3.
Yeah, no.
They're top 5 in the AFC.
I thought you were gonna say they're top 5 in the AFC East. I was like, come on, man.
Well, they are. But sticking with the AFC, really sticking with the AFC.
The Bills
East.
or the Miami?
Number 6 is the Bills. Number 7 is the
Miami.
Dolphins.
Damn, what the
Yes.
hell's going on? I don't like. Okay, the Bills, I understand, but the thing about them, they just lost Isaiah McKenzie, who was pretty good for them all year.
Yep.
I went to the Colts, and
Edmonds.
they just like don't show up in the playoffs. So sure, a season power ranking of 6, 100% sure, they're really, really good. They're always a hard team to play, but then the playoffs come and they just
Yeah,
shit
I
the
love
bed.
watching Josh Allen play, but he is not a playoff guy
No.
so far.
And then Miami, yes, they got way
Tua
better.
is such a big question mark, though.
Yeah, but they got way better on defense with Jalen Ramsey, 100%. But
Yeah, they did.
he's the question mark of the court. There's too many people on this list with the question of a quarterback.
Yeah.
How do you have the 49ers ranked so high? They don't have a quarterback. Sure, Nick Bosa got help on the other side, but like the defense is going to be the defense, and I guess defense wins championships. I guess you don't really know, but not really anymore. The Kansas City Chiefs hadn't had defense on any of their teams that they won championships with.
So
What's up,
let
dude?
me ask you this then. Who is your top 5? If you had to even just say top 5, because I agree. Like Miami, so question mark. Like good defense, but Tua's in. Who knows what he's going to play like last year? Aaron Rodgers isn't on there. I would say the Cowboys are even better in that sense. Like Cowboys can make top 5 based off of all those scenarios that you're talking about, because we have probably the most consistent returning players, as well as adding talent within the top 10. And I would say, Chris, you guys would even maybe slide in at 5, if not 6.
Whoa.
Like somewhere.
I see
Whoa.
more 6. Yeah.
Whoa. I would say 1, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Damn, just looking at the league, everyone kind of fucking sucks. Not sucks. It's just a very different league this year. Because like how the Raiders could be really good with Jimmy G. I don't know what that's gonna look like for them, right? Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. I don't know what that's gonna look like, right? They got Josh Jacobs coming back. Their
Well,
defense is usually
I'm
pretty
even-
good.
I would say I'm okay with the 49ers even being at second with the question mark, because they still made it as far as they did without him. And at the end, it
Yes.
was literally like a fact that the Brock Purdy got hurt in the game that they
Mhm.
lost. So I'm okay with them even being at 2. I don't like it, but I would say Bengals would probably be more.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Bengals wouldn't, because Bengals offensive line is shit.
But they got a lot of help in it in Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, one.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando
Yeah.
Brown.
Wow.
Wow.
Right out of Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yeah,
helping
dude.
them out.
Alex-isms.
But we got Orlando Bloom on the Cincinnati. They've
Then
made it
I
a
would
lot
say
better.
4 and 5 would be my top spots that are like open, and I would say the Cowboys have to slide in one of those top.
The Cowboys
4 or
are
5s.
the best team in your division, probably.
I think we're way better than the Eagles. We got better players than the Eagles. Eagles just started losing players.
Yeah,
Like-
but it's all about like what you do.
And we
You
just
guys-
added Stephon Gilmore to a team who is loaded with receivers. Now we have a better defense to stop them.
Yeah. I want to go with dude, looking at these teams, man, it's really hard because looking at the AFC West, you got the Broncos, who's a big question mark with Sean Payton. If he can turn Russell Wilson into something of a Drew Brees, holy crap, that team's gonna be good. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, you got the Raiders, who could be really good with Jimmy G. You got the Chargers, who Justin Herbert, who knows, right? Yeah, the Texans, they're brand new, baby faced. They could have fun in that division. They could win that division. That division's so open. I'm not saying they're the top 5, but like you got the Baltimore Ravens, where if Lamar does come back, are they a top 5 team?
No.
Okay, you got the Bengals, who Joey B, you don't really need much more than Joey B and Chase Claypool. Chase Young. What the fuck is his name? Jamar Chase. Holy
How
shit.
about this?
That
How about
was
you leave the
hard for
names
me.
to somebody else? Yeah. All right. Well,
It was hard for, but then then you have New England, who could be getting D-Hop. That is a rumor, but they could be getting D-Hop, and Mac Jones finally has a receiver to throw to. You've got the Cowboys, the Giants. I almost think are better than the Eagles.
oh my God.
What?
They have no one to throw. You're just. I don't know if I agree with your predictions or what you're saying, so I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
Because what I disagree with, there's a lot, and
Let me hear what
probably
you
other
disagree
people
with.
too.
Let me hear what you disagree with.
Oh,
You
I
don't think
disagree with
Houston?
you thinking
You don't
the
think
Giants are-
Houston can win their division?
No, I think they can, but it's still a really big question mark.
Well,
That's
they're
the
playing
biggest question mark. But like the Giants being better than Eagles, no, son.
Yeah.
The Giants still have nobody to throw to.
What are you talking about? They got Darren Waller.
Oh, he did so much last year, I'm afraid.
I understand he was okay last year, but that team was not great last year.
Well, it kind of goes year after year. So what do you think he's gonna do better than what he did last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he will do better, but
Yeah.
he's not game changing enough to where I'm putting the Giants above the Eagles.
Yeah.
I am.
And D-Hop to the Patriots. Literally last week they said D-Hop to the Cowboys, so it's gonna be anywhere until he gets fucking signed.
100%.
And the only reason they stopped talking about the Cowboys is they gave it to Cooks, but you can still get him.
Yeah, the Bears, man. The Bears, they're one fucking player away from being the best team in the league.
One player away. No, not at all.
They've made a lot of offseason moves, though. They made a lot of offseason moves.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of good thing. And I think that they're still going to be the same old Bears and be bad, but
well, they just haven't done anything to benefit Justin Fields.
The Chicago Justin Fields, man. I love that.
They did one thing.
Okay, getting DJ Moore. Yep. And don't get me wrong, DJ Moore is great. I think that was great. I think they need at least another weapon or two, and then he needs a line. He really needs a line.
They need a whole offense. They need
who's the running back now?
Running back.
Probably gonna go with Tariq Cohen. I imagine they gotta draft someone else to go with him too.
But I guess after looking at all the teams, they're like ranking is pretty solid. Like I understand that because you have the Eagles at 4, you have who is at 3?
Bengals.
I
would put Bengals at 2nd.
Who do you have for 5?
Who do I have, or who do they have?
Who do they have?
They have the Jets, who I don't think should be 5.
I don't agree with that because they don't have Rodgers yet.
I would put the Bills at 5.
I'd put
or depending on what your first 4 were. I agree with Justin. I think the Cowboys are actually up there.
Because who's above the Cowboys? Who's 8?
The Jacksonville Jaguars,
Whoa.
Who did win a playoff game this year.
They did good.
I'll give them that.
Whoa. What have they done in the offseason? Not much, right?
They've been quiet.
Yeah, they have a lot of young talent.
They did a lot last year. Yeah.
And they got rid of the worst head coach 2 years ago. So
absolutely they did.
They did. And they got a really good head coach in Doug Peterson. But they are not an 8. They're not above the Cowboys. I don't even think they're above the Lions.
I'll put them above the Lions because of that playoff win. Lions haven't proven to be at that stage just yet. I think this is the year for that, but
we're not talking about
we're talking
we're not talking about playoff wins. We're talking about power rankings going into 2023. We're talking about this new season. We're not talking about last season. It doesn't matter if you won a playoff game or not. The Jets are up there and they were fucking trash the last 8 games of the season. Like it's and they're number 5.
But look at the AFC South. It's pretty obvious the Jaguars are winning the AFC South.
I'm saying it right now. The Houston Texans are taking the AFC South.
You want to bet?
What? 100%. You don't even know who their QBs. Oh yeah, let's hear it. 100%.
Doesn't matter. 100p.
So what's the stakes?
We'll see.
You sure?
Yeah, I think they're going to take them.
Agree to the bet now, and that we can.
I think that they'll take them. I think they'll take them. I think they take the AFC South. I'm not agreeing to the bet. I'm just saying I would put money on it that they took the AFC South.
All right, this is what it's going to be. Next week we're going to play a trivia game on here. Okay. The winner of that game between the 3 of us with the host McJam will determine what the stake is for that bet. So you guys both just have to agree right now.
Wait, who I thought it was between me and you, Chris. Is it between me and Jay?
Justin's the one who wanted to bet on it.
Wait, no, we bet on something else.
All right, fine. I'll bet on it too.
All of us are in the trivia. Everybody's in the trivia.
Okay,
I was gonna just be a part of the trivia and get to play with the stakes, but for sure I'll be in this bet because I don't believe the Texans are winning the South.
Okay, they'll win.
Okay. Next week, triple threat.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna go at the AFC South is my new NFC East. for this season.
Where you're just gonna pick all the teams to do well.
Yeah. Besides the
He's gonna
Titans,
stop at the Jack. Yeah.
No, I think Jackson was gonna be really good. I can't not give it to them.
Well,
But-
I know we're wrapping up on a couple of things.
Yeah.
I think, dude, because Steelers, there's not much.
Whoa, the
going on to
Steelers
say.
signed
you
A
guys,
gnarly offensive lineman. They're finally protecting Pickett, so it's gonna be good.
who?
Well, if you say they're finally protecting Pickett, like wasn't this his rookie year?
They literally haven't had an offensive line for well, I guess that's a lie because 2 years ago they had one of the best offensive lines.
Yeah, I think at one point, quote unquote, you said Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the best offensive lines, the top 5. So
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And then, yeah, but then they had a bunch of retirements. So then they've had just a new line, and they've really felt it last year. And that's the one thing that they could not run the ball. Najee Harris was a non-factor last year, as Chris knows. So
All too well.
I'm happy to see them do something for the offensive line, even if it's whatever, but because it doesn't seem like there's that many offensive linemen to draft this year. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of big names. Did you see that Laramie Tunsil got an extension for $75 million? Holy
He got
shit.
a huge extension.
Holy crap, man.
All I can think about is his draft day
His draft day bong
incident.
hit.
Yeah.
What's
To be honest, I'm convinced that the Texans did that.
What's the
Yeah.
coach's name? I don't even know the coach, and I love that team. What's the coach's name?
DeMeco Ryan?
There we go. He brought him in with a bunch of fucking money too, because where did they get all this money from? Did they have it last season and they were just sitting on it? What the fuck is going on?
yeah, probably.
Because
I think
just-
they have been tanking the last couple of years. As soon as they lost Deshaun, I think they were in tank mode. And that's why they
Oh,
fired
really?
Lovie Smith, is they were pissed at him for
not tanking?
winning games this year. Yeah.
dumb. Never be pissed at someone for winning games. But I'll throw it over to the boys in blue. What do you got for us?
Dude, I think we're having the best offseason so far. Like one of the best.
I was gonna say that's
We're pretty competitive up there.
Making some
mean,
moves for
Off
sure.
of-
Mhm.
Last week we had tons to talk about with money savings and cutting, and then this week we got Brandon Cooks for a 5th and a 6th round, a steal for someone who is like, I think he's mediocre to say the least. Right? I don't think he's going to be some playmaker, but I think he's going to be a nice deep threat option.
He does have a
to
lot
add
of
to our
upside potential for your team.
100%.
He's-
And then he doesn't even have to carry the whole load.
He's better than Brown. I think that's who you lost, right?
Yeah.
I'd say he's probably better than him. So
So you
Agreed.
mean Bloom?
Bloom, yeah.
Yeah, Noah Bloom.
No Bloom.
We just re-signed Dante Fowler, Jr.
Mm.
So reason I like him being on our team, one, he's a good edge, and on the top of it, he was played with Dan Quinn most of his career because he was with the Falcons and then traded to the Cowboys or got to the Cowboys in off season. And we just signed Ronald Jones to replace Zeke as like that.
I saw that.
Third down heavy
Is-
back, which I think is
is-
great.
Is that the guy from the Bucks?
The Bucks and the
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah,
Oh.
he's won Super Bowls with both teams.
Oh, he went back to back. I mean, it's good for you guys. Maybe
It's not back to
he's
back,
the luck.
but very close.
Oh, back, then to miss, then back.
Yes.
Yeah, close,
Close, but not
close enough.
really.
He's a good luck charm.
And to be honest with you, he should his body should be in good condition because Fournette was doing more of the heavy lifting for the Bucks, and then a few other guys are doing more of the heavy lifting when he was with the Chiefs. So like he should be ready to go. And he's a good back.
100%. He's a good back, and I think it's good for his position specifically to be like that. Hey, we have to take on that 3rd and 1, or we're at 3rd and 2, or 4th and 1. You can hand that to him. But I think you're going to see a lot of people do what the Eagles did last year on 4th downs. There's going to be so many more 4th down conversions.
Well, I know Dan Campbell ain't slowing down in that department either. He's crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Plus,
I
Ronald
think more
Jones is
teams are going to
young,
start going for it.
100%. Ronald Jones is only 25 years old.
Yep.
Young. So
Young.
hey, adding talent to an already really talented team. I'm super pumped about the Cowboys this offseason. I think we're doing everything we can to win now. And we lost Dalton Schultz, but we have some decent tight ends. I know you asked me earlier about who the Dallas Cowboys tight ends were. And I know
Dallas
for sure
Goedert?
one's name is
I love that
No,
guy.
Close. He's so
Love that
great.
guy. Doesn't he play
is
for
so
Dallas?
great. He does play for Dallas. But we have I know one for sure is Jake Persigan, and I forgot the other guy's name.
A lot
not
of
bad.
a
I think
lot
they're
of
still-
1-year deals around the league right now.
Prove it years, baby.
Yeah, I think a lot of players are trying to maximize their earning potential, so they're willing to hold off on a big extension one more year to really solidify themselves.
And Peyton Hendershot was the other guy. Both those tight ends did good for us last year in the absence of Dalton Schultz, who was injured.
Has this been like one of the biggest years for off-season moves?
No.
Feels that way,
Like a lot, not like
at least for the
blockbuster-
Lions.
Yeah, not like blockbuster names, but just like a lot of people moving. Like there's like a
Yeah.
couple people where you're like, whoa, what the fuck? But like there's been just a lot of people moving around. Holy crap.
Maybe it's the first time we just ever recognized it.
Yeah,
on the
maybe.
podcast.
Maybe. Because I have to actually pay attention to it.
Well, I pay attention to it every year, and I feel like that, but this year's different because it's normally me sitting around watching these big moves happen, going, man, I wish the Lions would get in on this, like do something, and they would never do anything. This is the first year where they've actually done something. Now, there's some guys I feel like we missed out on, but I'm thrilled with the overall moves, and I do think that this year there just has been, like, there's for sure been more wide receivers available this year than previous years.
Yeah.
I think you have the it feels that even bigger too, because you have the QB controversy of Lamar and Aaron Rodgers, two gigantic names in the league who could be on the move, most likely will be on the move. So I think,
Yeah. Do you think
that plays a
Lamar's-
lot into
you
it.
think Lamar's leaving? Like everything's pointing towards he's gone.
It's either gone or sitting out.
Yeah, but that would be like the dumbest move for the Ravens. Like I love it. Please do it. But like it just kind of feels like a dumb move.
To not sign him.
Yeah. Unless you
I would
may-
agree.
Unless you don't believe
That's
in
called a curse.
unless you don't believe in
Then
him
that's what
that
will
much.
happen.
Yeah, like unless you don't believe in him that much to where you're
Oh.
like, what other sure, because money, sure, but you are an NFL team, like you're gonna make a lot of money.
I think they believe him. Just something's different. Like, it's just there's something that's not buying them, and who knows what it
Do you
is.
not want him to be the
but-
face of your franchise? Like I'm just I'm just confused on why he isn't getting signed. Does that make sense? Like I'm just like, what is going on? Like it's not, it doesn't seem like it might be just the money, but there's got to be something
It could be a
underlying
lot.
that you don't want about the guy, right? He's
Oh,
young.
maybe his health.
But I mean, he hasn't. Well, I guess he was injured. When
But
He,
last
the
year-
past couple seasons, he's missed games.
I have a question. I know this is really weird and it's definitely controversial. Let's say it's not just about the money. Maybe it's just about who he is as a person. Let's just say like race. Do you think that plays?
do you think
into
they
it?
want, or just
Like,
like
do you just think that play that? Because think about all the other people that have outwardly expressed that they weren't interested in him.
yeah, that was a little
There you
weird too.
go.
That right off the bat, so many teams were not interested in him.
Yeah, when that happened, I don't think that's like a race thing. I think it's more of a, we need to make sure that we as the owners don't lose the grip and the control that we have on this league by giving
Mm,
this guy a guaranteed contract like Deshaun. Because if you give him a Deshaun-like deal, then now every quarterback going forward is going to want a Deshaun-like deal.
talk about the Browns
break the
fucking
market.
up the NFL for the owners.
Yes. I think there is collusion. I think there is some dirty deals going on between these owners, but I think it's more about protecting their wallets than it is about any discrimination.
Did you see Magic Johnson is in like a cohort that is gonna that's looking to buy the Commanders? A cohort? I don't know.
I did see that he was looking to buy the Commanders or be a part of a group to buy the Commanders.
Oh, what would you
You
call
didn't-
that again?
You
Alex?
didn't want to call it a cohort?
No, I'm good. I just love that you get into your head. You're like, I'm gonna say a big word, and you just trip over yourself.
You trying to find your
What's
penis?
going on over there, big guy?
Oh, I lost my wedding ring on the ground. I just don't know where it is. Playing with it.
I just love that Rose's head stuck up in the background just now.
Oh my gosh, it's way over here.
Well, yeah, it's a circle thing that rolls. He's so not smart.
That's
sometimes.
wild, dude.
I'm glad that Rose was there to be in cohorts with you to find that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Well, boys.
wait, we got one more thing before you
I
hop
think-
off. One more thing.
What's the
Is
other thing?
Cam
Yeah.
Newton better
No.
than some of the 32 quarterbacks in the league?
Well, okay. Well, no matter how you word it, no.
He's better than do you think he's good enough to make a starting quarterback at one of the 32 teams? I mean, look who you got out there though. You got Sam Ellington. You've got Desmond Ridder.
Okay.
You've got
wait till
We
after
don't
the
know if
draft.
Ritter is starting.
You've got who the fuck is Carolina starter?
We don't know
Andy
because they haven't
Dalton.
drafted yet.
Okay, you've got whoever they draft.
Andy Dalton
Andy D, he's their starter.
as of right now.
Yeah, true. So is he better than those 12 people?
Okay, is he better than those people?
I'm just saying, is he good enough to have a starting position?
What are those people, Alex?
Yeah, who are
Quarterbacks.
these
Yeah,
people?
define those
Okay.
people.
He's good enough to
Quarterbacks in the NFL.
be on a team where if the starter goes down and he goes in, he could lead them to great success. He does have that talent. Is he good enough to where you're going to put him as your starter over whoever else you got on your roster or whoever else you're about to draft in the first round? Probably not. I could see him doing very well on a team like the 49ers. I think he would plug in extremely
would.
well into that franchise. But other than that, I just think it's situational. I think the right situation. Like I don't see him doing well on a lot of teams. We saw that with the Patriots. We saw that when he tried to go back to Carolina. I think if he wants to be a part of the league and is willing to be a backup, go be a backup on the 49ers. There's a good chance you're going to get to play. And
True.
that'll be a good place for you. So, but right now, if you had to say which team is he a starter on? I can't name you a team.
I'm with you, but I'm just saying, like, that's what he's saying.
That is what he's saying.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Go off.
I'm fine with him making a comeback in some form. I just see it as a bit of a backup role until the moment's right.
Did you see?
After watching him on the Patriots, he did not look quarterback.
Did you see
No.
that the 49ers called on Big Ben to potentially start some of their games last year, and he declined. Like he said no. But when they
Wow, I
got-
didn't know he knew that word. You set yourself up for that one, Alex.
He said no, and I thought it was crazy that they called an old quarterback to come play.
I mean, that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like Phillip Rivers actually was calling teams this year to see if they would want him to come and play. I think the 49ers were one of them, and they said no.
They said
so
no. They said nah. And then last but not least, before we hop out of here, guys, we've got top of the 7th,
oh, what's the score? We're losing.
Japan 3, USA
Yep.
1.
Still, no, that's such a close. Like you're talking one half inning, and that game's completely different.
The World Series of Baseball, or whatever it's
It's
called.
not the World Series of Baseball.
Classics.
The World Classics of
Baseball Classic.
Baseball. The Baseball
World Baseball
Classics.
Classic.
World Baseball
Jesus.
Classic.
God fucking damn it.
God, that was hard.
Yeah.
Is
Just like you.
gonna be
Teeny.
over here, top of the 8th.
Excuse me, are you okay? Do you need a second?
No,
Here,
I'm
why don't
good,
you gather
guys.
your
I'm
thoughts
just
and we'll talk some
no, I'm
baseball real
trying to-
quick. It's the
No, no,
World
no, I'm
Baseball
trying to-
Classic. Japan
World
right now
Baseball
is winning
Classic.
3-1.
It's hard to beat Japan though. They've won what 2 or 3 years in a row.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I don't
I
follow
don't either.
baseball that hardcore.
Now-
I've been following this and
Mick
I've been
Jam.
enjoying it.
Hear us out. Hear me out.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be bad 'cause I don't even know if they won last year.
No,
Well, first of all, they
no,
don't do it every
no,
year.
Don't say anything.
This is
Oh,
like
what?
okay. See, I thought I heard you say that, and I just assumed this guy knows that doesn't happen every year. He means the past few times that this tournament's gone on. But no, you're thinking this happens every year, so that's great. I wouldn't be
Educated. We are the most
surprised.
educated people on a fucking podcast that you will ever meet.
Yeah,
I won't be
don't-
surprised if we
anyways.
lose to Japan. They're very
Ah.
into baseball. Otani has been killing it. They have another guy on their team that's really good. That's a
I mean,
good
it's-
team.
It's a good team, and baseball's like the number one sport over in Japan. It's very good. It's
Whoever
very-
wins gets to be the face of the Angels, and that's the end of the story.
Oh,
Mike Trout or Otani.
That's a good point.
McJam, do we have
Actually,
any...
Mike Trout said that this was the biggest game. Tonight's game was like the biggest game of baseball he's ever played in his life. And it makes a lot of sense because he's
they've
on the
never done
Angels,
anything. Yeah,
which is crazy because he's this
Mike-
mega star in the
it's
world
Mike
of
Trout.
baseball stats and
he got
everything.
like a $3 billion contract or something like that.
I think you're making
Well,
that shit up.
That
Good
is
luck.
100% made up.
Let's go USA. Let's see if we can pull that out and get a dub.
100%.
Alex is really into 100% today.
100%.
Seems to be his
100p.
go-to
Well,
phrase.
It's 100p. It's 12.
And this
years for-
podcast, no, I don't give a shit about Mike Trout's contract. This podcast is 100% done. We're gonna end it with you saying he signed a $3 billion contract
And
because
thank you
that's
for-
very fitting for you.
Thank you for coming along this journey. Thank you for. We didn't get to do the gold star because they kicked us off. Sorry, McJam.
Oh, McJam, here, actually, we have time for you, McJam.
I am interested to hear McJam. So this podcast is 99% over.
All right, we got a little precursor to next week's McJam Extravaganza Trivia Night.
Oh,
Great name.
So, okay, gold star today. Which NFL team has the most winning seasons in a row
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Of all time or currently?
of all time?
Pittsburgh Steelers, 100%.
Patriots.
Justin?
I don't know what you're saying.
I said Steelers.
Oh,
None of you.
who was it?
Watch it be like the Cowboys.
Wait, no,
Maybe
don't tell us. Hold on, hold
Dallas.
on.
Damn it!
Dallas Cowboys with 20 straight winning seasons.
Wow, Justin.
Wow.
All you had to do was vote with your heart.
I
You would have
know.
won.
I second guess because of Alex. And we talk about these winning seasons. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't.
Okay,
I
who gets a
failed.
silver
I'm
star?
sorry.
Do you have a silver star or just a gold star today?
Give a silver star to Chris because I like his head.
Ooh. Pays to be bald, guys.
Hey, it's the first time Chris has ever gotten second.
It's rude.
And thank you guys for joining us today.
I
Thank you
normally get
for-
first for my head.
Thank you for being on this podcast. We really look forward to this every single week. Please like, subscribe, support YouTube,
There.
Instagram, share, whatever we do on the YouTubes, and do it, man.